It's April 29th. JLD here, and welcome to MSTR Today. In this show, we'll talk about the 15,000 more Bitcoin that Michael Saylor purchased. He is relentless. We'll also be talking about the leverage update for MSTR, exactly where we are, exactly what that means. We'll be doing a little bit of a dive into the earnings call and what we might be expecting. Also, Jason Calacanis continues to be bewildered. This guy, wow. Plus, we have multiple Michael Saylor video clips that you are not going to want to miss. This video is not financial advice. Please do comment below. Let me know where you're watching from, what you're thinking. Just comment for support. It means the world. And let's dive on in. Today's first post from Michael Saylor himself. When banks finally bless Bitcoin and the experts agree it's a good idea, everyone will want to buy it. No one will need to sell it, and you won't be able to afford it. So glad that we are so early, my friends. This is exciting times. And speaking of exciting times, MSTR has acquired 15,355 Bitcoin for $1.42 billion at $92,737 per Bitcoin and has achieved a Bitcoin yield of 13.7% year to date in 2025. And as of 4/27/2025, we, MSTR, Michael Saylor, strategy, hodls 553,555 Bitcoin acquired for $37.9 billion at an average of $68,459 per Bitcoin. Let's go. And of course, Chris comes through with a 15K Bitcoin buy alerts. And now we are 55% of the way to one Nakamoto. Aren't you excited when this turns to 60 and then 70 and then 80? Oh, it's going to be so exciting. For every $1,000 that Bitcoin increases, Strategy's balance sheet increases by $553 million. So here's the chart. 553,000 total Bitcoin, 55% of the way to one Nakamoto. Average Bitcoin price is a little bit over 68,000. A 13.7 Bitcoin yield achieved in 2025. So everybody that's been holding every day this year, congratulations. Your Bitcoin yield has increased by 13.7%. Man, that's amazing. And guess what? 15% was Michael Saylor's target. So he is a sandbagging SOB. Can we say that? Just kidding. We love you, Michael Saylor. Thank you for just completely smashing all your goals in a $553 million balance sheet growth for every $1,000 Bitcoin gain. Awesome stuff. Brian says, big ATM week, 1.4 billion of MSTR and 37.5 million of Strike was tapped. Only 128 million remaining on the MSTR ATM. Possible announcement of a new ATM will be something to watch for during the earnings call. So again, it just is very obvious that right now in the current market environment, that ATM of MSTR is by far the best way that Strategy can raise money, can raise dirty, dirty fiat money and turn that dirty fiat into Bitcoin. So that's what he's doing at a high level. Yeah, Strike's kicking out a little bit. I mean, 37.5 million is nothing to sneeze at, but it's a fraction of 1.4 billion. So obviously, tapping the ATM of MSTR is huge. And that's why I also expect, like Brian does, that this coming earnings call on May 1st, that Michael Saylor is going to be announcing a huge ATM allotment. And for everybody that doesn't like that, you're in the wrong stock. You're investing in the wrong company. You don't understand the thesis of MSTR. It's not to pump the stock up artificially in the short term. It is to acquire as much Bitcoin, period. End of story. If you're not on board for that, maybe it's time to reevaluate. Jeff says, MSTR has bought 6,294 Bitcoin per week on average in 2025. That's insane. MSTR's hodls 553,555 Bitcoin, 35 weeks left in 2025. If this average holds, MSTR will hold 775,000 Bitcoin by the end of the year, which would be 3.7% of the supply, which is outstanding. I love that. Got a great post by Strategy Archive who says Strategy reached new peak by market cap at 99.15 billion, climbing to a rank of 88th position among US companies, which is its highest ranking ever. So thank you, Punter Jeff, for that. And Jeff also has an update on the leverage for 4/28/2025. So as of yesterday, MSTR had 52 billion of assets, 8.2 billion of debt, 1.7 billion of preferred stock, 42 billion of net capital. This is a 19% leverage ratio. And again, strategy is cool with 25 to 30%. So they're still well below where they're comfortable with. This is 5.3x debt coverage ratio. So they have MSTR has 7.3x the net capital they held at the beginning of 2024, and the net capital alone would be 223rd largest U.S. company ranked by market cap, which is insane. So Bitcoin. So this is something that you need to realize as a watcher of this channel, as a viewer, as a subscriber, as somebody who invests in MSTR. So when you hear people who are like, "Oh my God, like MSTR's average price is 68,000 Bitcoin. If it falls below that, they're going to get liquidated. They're going to get a capital call." That is so dumb. That is so far from the truth. Those people are so clueless. The fact that they're even allowed to speak in public, I'm shocked about, because Bitcoin would need to fall to $14,857 for the assets held on the balance sheet to be worth less than the debt. That's an 84% drawdown from current Bitcoin prices. And guess what? It would have to stay there for multiple years for MSTR to even think about needing to do something. So to me, this is the real numbers you need to be thinking about. If you want to worry about something, you can worry about these numbers. But again, it has to go to 14,800 and stay there for multiple years. And Jeff wants to give us a friendly reminder. The U.S. government is operating with a $5.7 trillion of assets and 45.5 trillion of liabilities. That's an 800% leverage ratio. Which asset should have a better credit rating? U.S. Treasuries or MSTR debt? Obviously, I think I will be investing in Stripe at some points when I just run MSTR all the way up to the moon. I just want 10% a year, just locked it in. Man, this is the kind of debt that I would trust right here for sure. So thank you for that, Jeff. And back to Chris, who says, who remembers when Saylor thought he might never achieve 1% of the Bitcoin supply? He's currently at 2.6 and capital raises are going vertical. Hilarious in hindsight. All right, Brian wants us to know that May 1st, MSCR earnings call is going to be wild. It'll be reporting a $5.1 billion net loss at a time when the Bitcoin price has already rebounded near levels the MSCR needs for S&P 500 qualification. The MSTR ATM has also nearly run out, and we'll see if Saylor doubles down with a $42 billion ATM. I would say count on it. Count on it. I don't know exactly if the number is going to be 42 billion, but count on more ATM for sure. Jeff says bewilderment is compounding. Jason Calacanis is going to the top of the Pubco leaderboard. You have two choices: fight it all the way to the top, and two, take your TradFi hat off and embrace it. So that's what his two choices are. He can fight it or just embrace it. Because Jason says you can buy a Bitcoin for $1 and sell them for $2.50. MSCR bought 15,000 plus Bitcoin for 1.4 billion last week. Total Bitcoin is now 553,000. Bitcoins last week were at 92,000. MSCR average purchase price is now 68,000 for 38 billion. Market cap is 2.5x. That's 96 billion. This is absolutely wild. His bewilderment is compounding. And now I have some epic video clips you're not going to want to miss. So Michael, take it away.
But let's talk about your existing holdings. As I mentioned in the intro, now worth around $10 billion. You have paper gains of about 70% or so, which a lot of people would like to see that sort of return. At any point, would you sell? When would it make sense to take profits there?
Well, I've famously said I'm going to be buying the top forever. Bitcoin is the exit strategy. It is the strongest asset. So what we see right now is the Bitcoin has just emerged as a $1 trillion asset class. And it's alongside names like Apple and Google and Microsoft. But the difference between Bitcoin and the Magnificent Seven is Bitcoin's an asset class. It's not a company. There's not enough room in the capital structure of those companies to hold $10 trillion or $100 trillion worth of capital. So Bitcoin's competing against gold, which is 10x what it is right now. It's competing against the S&P index. It's competing against real estate, $100 trillion plus asset class as a store of value. So we believe capital is going to keep flowing from those asset classes into Bitcoin because Bitcoin is technically superior to those asset classes. And that being the case, there's just no reason to sell the winner to buy the losers.
It used to be if you go back to 2018 in the Bitcoin community, if you said the word, you said Larry Fink, they would say, oh, Larry Fink doesn't like us. And in the year 2024, Larry Fink goes on television and speaks to leaders in the world and says Bitcoin is a store of value. It protects the sovereignty of the individual. It allows you to achieve your hopes. It is hope. Larry Fink has said Bitcoin is hope. Now, what does that say to me? It says we don't have enemies. What we have are people that need Bitcoin that don't yet know why they should be our friend. When someone goes on television and they're asked, what do you think about Bitcoin? And they get poked and they're a little bit irritated, they got to ask the question. They're not an enemy of Bitcoin, they're just not prepared for the question. And in fact, over time, the journalist will do the poking because they know the most important thing in the world today is Bitcoin. And you're going to have a group of people that understand it, that will say it's the future. And you'll have a group of people that don't understand it and they will not have embraced it. But at the end of the day, with time, with education, we're going to see more and more people join the network and they're going to participate.
Michael, thanks for that. And we have another video clip of Michael Saylor coming up as soon as we get back from thanking our sponsors. So check it out. I know we're all looking to stack more Bitcoin and MSTR, and to do that, we need more fiat. So let's chat about our sponsor, ShipStation. We all know the market can seem pretty chaotic at times, but if you're in charge of order fulfillment for your business, you already understand chaos. While we might not be able to help calm the chaos in the market, ShipStation is here to help when it comes to shipping and fulfillment. I've used ShipStation to easily automate shipping to customers around the globe. My favorite part about the platform, managing orders in one simple dashboard makes an otherwise massive task feel pretty darn simple. Plus, ShipStation not only integrates with the services and selling channels you already use, it's also the fastest, most affordable way to ship products to your customers. ShipStation hooks you up with discounts up to 88% off UPS, DHL Express, and USPS rates, and up to 90% off FedEx rates. Calm the chaos of order fulfillment with the shipping software that delivers. Switch to ShipStation today. Go to shipstation.com/MSTR to sign up for your free trial, or click the pinned comment below this video. That's shipstation.com/MSTR. And thank you for supporting our sponsors that allow myself and my team to continue to produce these daily videos for you for free. Now back to the show. Online shopping has never been easier, but this ease is new enough that we remember a time when entering all our credit card info every time we purchased something online was the norm. Luckily, we don't have to do that anymore thanks to Shopify. That's right, that purple Shop Pay button that makes it seamless to purchase online is powered by Shopify. And Shopify doesn't just make it easy to buy, it makes it incredibly easy to start a business no matter your experience. Shopify is the commerce platform behind 10% of all e-commerce in the US, and they make it super easy to get up and running with beautiful, ready-to-go templates and built-in marketing and email tools. Worried about tracking inventory, payments, and analytics? No stress. Shopify helps you manage it all from a single dashboard. And back to that iconic purple Shop Pay button, it's why Shopify has the best converting checkout on the planet. If you want to see less carts being abandoned, it's time for you to head over to Shopify. Sign up for your $1 per month trial and start selling today at shopify.com/MSTR. Go to shopify.com/MSTR, shopify.com/MSTR.
Gold invites violence. Alexander, gallivanted around the world to seize gold. Livy tells the story of 1,000 Roman sieges in order to steal the gold. Caesar sacked Gaul to take their gold. Kublai Khan seized the gold. Pizarro seized gold from the Incas. Cortez seized gold from the Aztecs. Charles I seized the gold from all the British nobles. The Prussians seized gold from the French in 1871. In World War I, everybody seized the gold. Lenin seized gold from the church in 1922. Roosevelt seized everybody's gold in 1933. Stalin seized the gold of the Spaniards in 1936. Churchill took everybody's gold in 1940 at the onset of the war. at Bretton Woods, the United States seized the world's gold and then, took it hostage. And then Nixon killed all the hostages in 1971. Gold invites violence. Alexander, gallivanted around the world to seize gold. Livy tells the story of 1,000 Roman sieges in order to steal the gold. Caesar sacked Gaul to take their gold. Kublai Khan seized the gold. Pizarro seized gold from the Incas. Cortez seized gold from the Aztecs. Charles I seized the gold from all the British nobles. The Prussians seized gold from the French in 1871. In World War I, everybody seized the gold. Lenin seized gold from the church in 1922. Roosevelt seized everybody's gold in 1933. Stalin seized the gold of the Spaniards in 1936. Churchill took everybody's gold in 1940 at the onset of the war. At Bretton Woods, the United States seized the world's gold and then, took it hostage. And then Nixon killed all the hostages in 1971. Gold invites violence.
And there you have it, another episode of MSTR Today. And here we go with my receipt from yesterday. A 0.569 share of MSTR was purchased by myself at $370 in my continued quest to purchase the top every single day. I'm just kidding. To purchase $210 of MSTR every single trading day of 2025. And back when I bought the top, when it was $248 for the day was the high and the low was like $231. I think that's looking pretty good right now. So just like Michael Saylor, I am fine buying the top intraday forever because, my friends, it is inevitable, the path that we are on. It is exciting times. I am so glad that you're part of this ride. And I'm honored that I'm part of your 15 minutes every single day because you are the average of the 5 people you spend the most time with. And the fact that I'm one of those 5 people for 15 minutes a day, thank you. I don't take that lightly. I am honored and I am so proud and excited for you because, man, the future, in my opinion, is super bright. And like Michael Saylor says, there is no second best.
What's the second best? There is no second best.